Hi everyone. Today I will explain how you can track an Android app with Matomo Analytics thanks to the Android SDK. So actually I'm not a developer at all. I decided to make this video because I didn't find any documentation for dummies explaining how you can track an Android mobile app with the Matomo SDK. So as I previously said, I'm not a developer at all. Normally, I used to create a mobile app by using App Inventor 2, which is designed actually most for kids. So it's kind of a CMS project for Android mobile app where you can easily just with some block codes actually execute some line of code, and you can track actually an Android mobile app by using the App Inventor 2, and you can create your own app as well. All you need is actually to drag and drop some HTTP components such as those and to execute the different requests by actually looking at the HTTP API request of the Matomo Analytics documentation. So it's just basically some requests like this that you need to send, where you append, of course, your authentication token plus the different action that you would like to push, such as the screen that the user is currently looking at, and so on and so forth. But the frustration that I had is that by using App Inventor 2, you are not seeing, let's say, the full story of what is an SDK. And as well, the other issue that I'm facing is that actually it's consuming a lot of battery from the mobile app, because every time that actually an action is performed, it's like doing a push to Matomo, and that's not the good way to go. And really, my idea is how you can, let's say, create an Android app from, let's say, the main software which are used, which are Android Studio, and how you can track that out with Matomo Analytics, and that's the part of this video. So basically, it will be about understanding how to implement the Matomo SDK that you can find here. So let's get started. So in order to start, what you need, of course, is an Android app, and you need to have a software in order to create your app. So for this, I choose Android Studio, which is the main software developed actually by Google, and it works actually on Mac and Linux and Windows. What you have to know is actually it's consuming a lot of resources, so you need to have a good RAM on your PC in order to make it up and running. Like when you choose a video game, you need to have a good computer now, and that's the kind of thing that you need to do. So yeah, just click here on download, install it on your computer according to the strength of your computer. It may take up to 1 hour, 2 hours, even half a day in order to configure. It's kind of a brand new world for you, so don't be surprised if there are many things to let's say to learn from it. If you see some error messages, I will say your best friend here will be your internet connection, because the file is quite big and it needs to do a lot of updates, and you need to install as well the emulator. But even without being a developer, I'm pretty sure that you will succeed to manage it. So yeah, first you need to have Android Studio. Once it's installed up and running, probably you will get a bit of some error messages. And here there's no secret. I mean, the error messages are probably coming from, let's say, the configuration between your computer and what is expecting Android Studio. So you need to fix them one by one, just by going on some forum and so on and so forth. But just to let you know that it's not that difficult, or at least I succeed to manage it. So there's no reason why you shouldn't. Okay, so here, for example, I'm launching my Android Studio. So in my case, it's loading the last project that I was working on. Just for the sake of this video, what I will do is I will probably cancel it right here, and I will close these parts down. And what I will do is I will create a new project. So let's say a new project means kind of a new app. And I'm going to click on a new project over here. So let's go for a new project. Here, the first question that they are going to ask you when you create a new app is what kind of activity you would like to have. So an activity corresponds to somehow, let's say, a screen of your app, but it's not really a screen. It's more like what you would like to do within the given screen, such as displaying a map or that kind of thing. In my case, I'm just going to take empty activity, so let's say an empty screen. And then it's going to ask me what is the name of my app. So I'm just going to call it, let's say SDK. Yep, SDK tutorial. Yep, SDK tutorial. Okay, SDK tutorial. And I'm just gonna validate that out. So I just need to click here on finish. It's asking you a lot of questions down here, but just for the sake of this video, I'm just gonna click on finish, because I just want to make it quick and not explain you all the different options which are in Android Studio. And the main reason is, of course, that I'm not an expert, so I don't want to say any bad thing over here. So right now it's kind of building actually my app. So I'm just going to close my default project, which was the autonomous test. So I'm just going to shut it down, because as you can see, I mean, you may not hear it, but my computer is kind of hitting a lot. The reason is that actually I'm running OBS and I'm running as well the Android Studio, and both actually consuming some energy. Okay, so right now actually the app is going to be built out. So that's really when you open your first project in when you create your first project in Android Studio. In any cases, it's creating an app. So in my case, going to create an app with an empty activity, empty screen. And just to let you know that when you create your first app within Android Studio, it's kind of a hello world app. So you get actually already your first app created. So here you can see that all the process has been made in terms of build, and here it's kind of continuing actually working in, let's say, creating the different files for my app. So here I am. That's my app. So it's full in Java. I don't know what Java is, but I will try to do my best to explain it within this tutorial. And here, activity main is kind of representing what your app looks like. So if you zoom a little bit more, you will see that actually you have already your app with here saying actually hello world, and you can already interact a little bit with it and kind of changing some properties. So I'm just gonna call it hello guys, da da da. Okay, and that's it. So now if I launch what we call the emulator, so as its name stands for it, it's kind of emulating actually the and it's like creating a mobile app, I mean a mobile device within your own computer. So that's why it's taking a lot of resources, taking some time, but you will see that actually we already have an app up and running. So that's not the right one, right? As you can see, it's the former app that I had. So I will need to wait a little bit that the Gradle build running process end in order to ask for an update of the given app that I'm currently looking at. And then it's just going to show you that, yes, I have an app, and here it's already telling me, okay, yeah, I don't mind. So let's wait a little bit. And okay, yeah, as I said, actually, it's going to take some time. So here it's okay, that's fine. There's no error. And scanning file to index to process it, waiting for the target is to come online. And yes, okay, great. So now it comes back to green. So if I click on this one, and if I say, hey, please give it back to the system to process is running, and normally it should update what I had over here. It's just going to take some time again. SDK tutorial, hello guys, and so we are happy. Okay, so here what it means, actually it's fine. My app has been created. If I would like actually to already put it on my mobile phone, what I will need to do probably is click on build, and yeah, build bundle APKs, build APKs. Then it's gonna create you like an exe file. I'm gonna simplify it like this, and then you just transfer it to your mobile phone, either by email or whatever, and then you double click on it and you say, okay, I want it to be installed on my mobile, and it's gonna be up and running. Okay, so far nothing very interesting for tracking actually your mobile app with the SDK. So now I come to this part. Okay, so now I have an app. I'm happy. This app is named SDK tutorial. So I'm going to do the SDK. So I don't need these parts out anymore. And here I can look at the documentation of Matomo, which will finally send me to the following link. Once more, I would like to thank actually Darkan over here, D4Ken, because he's really the guy who was here in order to answer to all the questions that I had regarding the SDK, because by reading the documentation here, which I consider myself as a non-developer, as a in high context, I could not really understand all of it, or at least when I was following the tutorial, I did not get it straight away. And he spent some time with me explaining actually how does it work, and I really did my best in order to understand what he was saying. And I mean, without him, this video could not have been live. So thank you very much. I didn't have the opportunity yet because I didn't send him the video to check and correct what I'm saying. So just consider that the words which I'm saying right now are my own and not his. Yeah, that's more for beginners, this video, and really for people who have no knowledge in development at all, such as myself. Okay. So in order to implement the SDK, what you need to have is actually to have already a Matomo set up and running. So you need to have, let's say, a place which is here in order to receive the data. Keep in mind that here you need to be an HTTPS, because you may be tempted actually to create on a local server actually a Matomo installation. But what happens is if you install it on your local machine, most of the time it's not in HTTPS, or at least it's going to be a hard time for you to configure it in HTTPS. And just to let you know, if it's in HTTP, it's going to require you more effort within Android Studio in order to make the call to your web server, which means that probably your tutorial or your test won't work. So that's why please use a website which is in HTTPS. In my case, here I created a website just in order to receive actually the traffic coming from this mobile app specifically. Just to let you know as well that so far in Matomo, you don't have yet the name mobile app. You just have the name website, intranet, or rollup within Matomo, but not yet the word mobile, but it works exactly the same way. So instead of adding a mobile app, you add a website and you just send your information regarding your mobile app within a website property in Matomo. And just to let you know as well, sometimes you may be a bit kind of annoyed because here it's talking about pages and not about screens. But there are some plugins actually in Matomo Analytics that you can add, customize or custom translation, in order to make the translation properly and to have the word screen here instead of pages. Or in any cases, you can access to the source code and make the modification yourself. So yes, Matomo can support mobile tracking. It's not a big deal. So now let's, so what does it mean here is that set up Matomo on your own server. Just by showing you here, it means that actually I validate the first step. So the first step is really have your Matomo on the server. Second one is include the library in your app module build Gradle file. So what you do is that you copy this line, okay, just copy it, and then so you need to copy it within the app module build Gradle file. So there are two kind of file within Android Studio in terms of Gradle. They are over here, right? You see the you see the elephant. If you don't see it, probably it means that you need to move here from project to Android or the other way around, Gradle script. And in our case, we just said it's going to be within the module app. So just go over here. And if you go over here and if you go down the page, yes, you see the cousin, let's say, of the line that we just copy and paste. They are up here, and so we just copy it, and here you have the implementation done. Okay, and now it's asking you actually to insert actually the latest version. And latest version, you just check it out on GitHub, and it's saying it's 4.0.2. So if you go over here, you see it's 4.402. So you go back and you say, okay, it's 4.02. So you go over here, 4.0.2. What does this line do? In itself, nothing until you click here. And when you click here, what it does actually, it's going to look within what I understood within the repository of a place which is named JCenter, which is the, let's say, the repository, the location where the creator of the SDK over here send the file which composed betray JCenter, so which is actually the official, let's say, place where we can get all the code from. Okay, so this is what this line does. And if I click here and synchronize now, what it will do is actually it will populate my app with the full SDK of Matomo, and it allows, of course, to install Matomo on my app. Let's say the main file which composes the SDK, not the tracking in itself. So I'm just going to click now and synchronize now. And what it's doing is actually it's kind of talking, from my understanding, with all the different files over here by going to the repository of JCenter and pick them out. So I think it's, I don't know where we can find this information out, but that's what I understood. So this is what it does. So in any cases here, it works. Okay, I successfully implemented, let's say, the first step, which is here. Okay, so now let's go to the second step, which is kind of, it's tough. This one is the toughest part, and that's the part that I did not understood at the beginning. So in fact, this sentence, initialize your tracker either by extending a Matomo application class or storing an instance yourself, is a very high content sentence, and it means a lot of things. So probably if you are not a developer and you read this sentence, you will probably don't understand actually what is behind. And even myself, even by getting the, let's say, the information, I'm not even 100% sure of what I'm doing. But anyway, let's move forward. So in order to make this second step, what I need to do is I need to go over here, and I need to go, so I need to go under my main activity here. And what I will do here is I will create a new file, and this file is going to be named app. Okay, what I'm doing here is that I'm creating this side class. So and I would like actually this class to be the first file that my app will look at when the app is launched. And within this file, this is where I will install actually the configuration in order to say where I would like the data to be sent. Okay, that's basically what it does. It's a bit like, from my understanding, it's a bit like a plugin, a module where you will install, where you will set actually the configuration of where you would like the data to go. So okay, this is how it works. You have your public class, and here, from my understanding, I need to extend this class. So in order to extend it, I need to, so I have my notes, and my notes are over here. I need to extend it by calling it okay, so this is where I need more. Okay, sorry for that. This is where I need my cheat code, let's say, and look at what I've done in the past with other apps. So I need to go in app Java, and over here I need to write extends Matomo application. Okay, so let's go back where I was. So that was SDK tutorial. So okay, and this is here I need to write extend. Okay, extend, and we say extend application. Oh, extend, we say Matomo application. So this is what we want here. So here he's saying, okay, I'm not happy. When he's saying that he's not happy, you just need to click on it and say, okay, I want to implement the method. Here it's going to say, okay, please add this on create tracker config tracker builder. Okay, so and now that I added actually the Matomo application, as you can see, I got full code added here, which represent, let's say, all my uh, Matomo code. So now what I need to do is actually I need to add the place where I would like to send the data to. So I'm just gonna write over here. It's return, and it's I think it's set config or something like this. So I can just go over here, and so it's tracker builder domain config. I think it's something like this. Oops. Just gonna double check. Just gonna do return tracker builder create default. Okay, so return tracker builder. Yep. So I go, yeah. So return. Yep. Yep. And you do this. Here it's expecting actually to get the API URL and the integer which represent the ID site to which you would like to send the data to. So in my case, those are those given information that you can see over here. Oops, I can just copy them and then paste them out to my SDK tutorial. Okay, so over here. Okay, everything's correct. So now I just need to press the semicolon, and it should be all right now for the configuration of the tracker. So now I need to define, as you can see here, the application name within the manifest file, because here it's showing me an error message. So in order to do so, I need to go within the manifest. So it's over here. So from my understanding, the manifest is like the initial file that the app will look at when it will be launched. So I'm just gonna click here on Android. I think it's Android name, yeah, Android 2 points name equal, and here I need to say dot app. Okay. So now it's good. And if I'm doing this normally, if I look at the app stuff, right, the error message will not appear anymore. So that's the good thing. Then I need, of course, to now add the tracker to my screen. So what's going to happen here under the main activity. So in order to do so, what I did here is I have my configuration app file, which is saying where the data should go to. In order to, let's say, make the data send properly to Matomo, I need to have this file to be, let's say, executed first when the app start. And this is what we did here within the Android manifest.xml file, and to say, okay, the first screen, let's say, or activity, or let's say file that you should launch first is the one of the app, so which is the one where I set all the different configuration of Matomo. And then as this screen will be loaded, the main activity one, I need, let's say, to explain what I would like to track. And this is what comes in second, which is over here, which is this tracker part. So I'm just gonna take this part out, copy it, and I'm now gonna paste it within my main activity file, which is over here. So I can just copy and paste it over here. Here you can see that there are some different information. So here it's telling me actually that the information does not exist yet. So I'm just going to push Alt and Entry in order for it to be able to auto-complete it. Same stuff here. Yep, so here it's making the link and say, okay, now I know what this information is because we integrate the SDK and the right methods. And now I don't have any error message, right? So I just press Alt, Enter, and it works out. Here it's going to tell me, okay, when this screen will be loaded, what it will do is actually it will create a URL, a page URL, which is the following ones. So I'm just gonna call it my tutorial works. My tutorial works EP. Okay. So if you are familiar with Matomo, this line is the page URL and the page title. This one download is the one in order to track how many times the app has been installed. So now everything should work correctly because I did the full thing. However, you will see once more the charm of Android Studio. I'm going to show you that in a second. So I just click over here. So now I'm launching the emulator in order to say, okay, please create a mobile device, an Android app mobile device, and show me what the app looks like. Here, as you can see, and this is the charm of Android Studio, it happens all the time, that you get an error message. On each time you need to dig into the different forum in order to know what this error is about. And here you go on this page, and on this page they're telling you, okay, by the way, I faced this difficulty. I need to go within the app build Gradle file in order to copy and paste those line of code, and then it worked out. So app build Gradle, so that's what I'm going to do right now. So I go over here, and so the build Gradle, we said it was over here. It's the module app, and here they said that you need to copy and paste. You need to copy and paste them, so you can put them over here. Here it's saying, okay, again, do a synchronization of the file. So you do this. Just to let you know that I tried to do the same tutorial like 2 years ago. The method was a bit different, and I did it 6 months ago as well, and the method was a bit different. And today the method is again a bit different. So Android Studio is like moving all the time, and you need to play on each time with forums and so in order to understand what are the different, let's say, error message that you are facing. So if I go now on my Matomo, you will see that actually so far no data have been sent for the given tracking that I created. So I don't have the YIP or URA information which are appearing here. So the one that I wanted to push. So yes, if my Matomo wants to work, okay, great. So we are on the 21, nothing yet. But what I will do now is I will create the app. So I go over here, and now let's create the app just to be sure. I just would like to change a couple of things here, and I'm gonna, let's say, change the name that I had here. Just say it works. Okay, great. So now let's create my app. So I'm choosing the emulator, so the device I would like to emulate. It's now creating the full thing. You can see that there's the event logs, which is saying that 2 errors happen. If at some point we would like to know if everything goes as planned, you have the log information, which are over here in order to tell you, okay, how the project went. So let's see, did it took it? It works. Okay, great. So now I'm pretty sure that actually, let's say the app that I wanted to launch has been built correctly. You can see that actually there's a bit of activity here. Yes, let's see now if the push has been made. So I've been saying that actually if you press the return key, normally it should send a push to the Matomo app. Because what does the Matomo tracking code does, it does not send straight away the information to the Matomo server where you installed in, because it will consume, let's say, too much battery of your mobile app. It's just waiting actually for a specific amount, either of time or either in terms of, let's say, action which have been performed within your app in order to make the push happening. And I don't remember exactly what Darken told me, but I think it's about 60 seconds in order for the push to be effective. So this is what I'm going to do right now. Actually, I don't even know why I decided to close the app. But yeah, let's wait something like 60 seconds in order to see if the app will send the push properly. So I guess I talk for close to 60 seconds, and let's refresh here the page in order to see if the tracking has been made or not. So I refresh the page. All right. So as you can see, the YPA stuff worked. Actually, I set the time zone in my case with 1 hour delay, so that's the reason why you have a bit of difference here between the two. But it worked 1 minute and 20 seconds ago, and as you can see, those are the information which are sent. So the fact that the app has been downloaded and installed on a new device is showing actually the URL, let's say the screen to which the user are, according to, let's say, the hard-coded information that I put, but you can put some variables in order to make those information dynamic. It knows that it's an Android app. It shows as well the kind of operating system, my IP address. It gets as well the user ID, which is a unique identifier but anonymized in order to identify your device specifically. And as you can see, when you install it, again, what's happening is that it's like deleting and erasing, I mean, not erasing, but creating a new user ID. So it's like not like following your specific machine all the time on and on. And yes, you can get more information after that, thanks to this visitor profile. Okay, for example, here, I know that I came twice. That's great. Okay, so I know that this tutorial may have been a bit confused, and probably it will not fit actually all your expectation in order to track properly an app with Android. But just to let you know that there are many other tracking code that you can use within the SDK. Just to give you one example, if you just go back over here, and if you go under the main activity, if you go down here, if you just start to type tracker, I think it's tracker dot something. Yes, you will see actually how far you can go, because it's giving you, let's say, all the different functions that you can use actually within Matomo, such as the opt-out feature, such as the user ID, the get visitor ID. I mean, you can really play a lot with it. It's just that I'm not a Java developer, so I don't really know how far you can go. I'm just really starting that kind of experience here. So yeah, but just to show you that it works, if you follow this tutorial step by step, it should work out as well. I hope my explanation were clear. Do not hesitate to like this video if you liked it, and to make any comments if you had any question, and I, let's say, will do my best in order to help you with my level of knowledge. Thanks for watching.